Good evening, everybody. We want to welcome you to the 2025 Phillips 66 Big 12 Men's Basketball Championship. My name is Alfred White, and I'll be your post-game press conference moderator throughout this week and this weekend. After each game, the winning team will be escorted to this room. We will have each team on the dais for up to 10 minutes each. We will ask each head coach to open each team's session with general comments about the game. If you would like to ask a question, please raise your hand and let us deliver to you a wireless microphone. Please state your name, your affiliation, and designate who you would like to answer your question directly into the microphone. We will have quote transcribers working remotely. Quotes and other media materials are available in the media Dropbox on big12sports.com. When entering and departing this interview room, we request that you use the rear entrance to this area. Locker rooms are open up to 30 minutes once a team's cooling off period ends. The winning team has a 5-minute cooling off period, and the non-advancing team has 15 minutes. Joining on the dais now is Kansas State head coach Jerome Tang, along with Doug McDaniel, and Coleman Hawkins. Coach, when you're comfortable, if you could start us off with some general comments about the game.
First of all, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for the blessing I have to live life with these guys, this team at Kansas State. And we don't take it for granted, what we're allowed to do, and at a really high level, and so really blessed. Proud of these guys. In single elimination tournaments at the end of the year, it's usually about who wants to stay together longer, right? Like, how much do we enjoy being around each other? And love being around these guys, and they love being around each other. So it was a lot of fun. Congratulations to Coach Hurley and his team. They did a great job. It was a tough match, another Big 12 battle, and thankful to be on top.
Okay, please remember to raise your hand. We'll get microphones to you. Got a couple here on the left. Let's go here to the one in the middle first.
Coach, you guys held Arizona State to under 40% shooting, both from the floor and from three. What was working on that side of the ball for you guys to generate success defensively?
I think we limited their their catch and shoot threes, and had to take dribble threes. So that was part of the scouting report, and guys did a good job of that. And then some of it was they just missed shots. That happens sometimes. So credit to our guys for what they were able to do, but sometimes do just miss shots.
Okay, we'll go to the back.
Trenton Craxner, KJHK Radio. This is for all three of you guys. David only played 17 minutes tonight. and he obviously had the kind of clinching and one, but how big was it to step up with him not playing a lot of minutes today?
Who would you like first?
Coleman, you can go first.
I thought, we did a good job of just, trying to execute as well as possible. When we had 4 guards, 1 big, just, not playing with the game plan that we, were planning on doing, or a lineup that we didn't plan on having in, but, we still stayed solid to our principles and did a pretty good job of limiting their opportunities and finding ways to score. And yeah, I mean, David's a big part of our team, and his rebounding, his efficiency at the rim. So some guys just stepped up, and maybe it wasn't the scoring, but defensively and just being able to execute.
Do you want Doug to answer that as well?
Sure, Doug, go ahead.
David is, to me, in my opinion, David is the heart and soul of this team. He's been here for 3 years, so his expectations for Coach Tank, he kind of understands them. He kind of lays that on us, but some might look at it as a bad thing, but we looked at it as a blessing in disguise. He should be fresh for tomorrow, and I hope that today showed him that we have his back, and guys gonna step up. If he goes down, and I feel like it brought us closer today for tomorrow.
Yeah, I told him in the locker room that 17 minutes, so he'll be fresh tomorrow, be able to fly around. So excited about that.
Doug, for you specifically, first half didn't get things going, but second half you did. What turned around for you in the second half?
I just had to be more selfless. I feel like I was into myself, worrying about me and what they had going on. And when I just gave myself up for the team, a lot of things started going well for me. And that's credit to Coach Tang and my teammates. They really picked me up during halftime and just let me know just play my game, and everything else gonna work out. So I just try to do it all for my guys, and it worked out in our favor.
Coach, aside from knocking down the open looks you got early, what would you equate your guys' fast start to?
I don't know if there was anything more. It's about making shots. It's a make-miss game, and early on we was able to get some good looks, and the guys rose up and made them, and then when it became a grinder, we was able to play a grinder game, so I was proud of them for that.
Let's go here in front row.
Coleman, tell us about your night and just filling it early and just kept on scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I needed to make up for the poor performance against Iowa State. I felt like I wasn't very good at all. Defensively, on offense, I didn't play confidently. And today I took my knee brace off and felt a little bit more free. Went out there and just played. Didn't really think too much, and just shot the ball confidently. And yeah, I've been a part of tournament teams that won the tournament. So I just want to go out and be aggressive, and as we win more games in this tournament, a lot of stuff's going to start getting scouted. Stuff's going to start breaking down. So it's going to be about who can make plays, and I feel like we did a good job of that tonight. So.
Coach, what do you think of Coleman's performance tonight?
It was great. I mean, I loved his aggression. I was nervous because he took off the knee brace, right? But Luke said it was okay, and so I trust Luke. But you just want your guys to be healthy. That's what I want for him. And I loved his aggressiveness. I loved all the guys' aggressiveness. I thought they took advantage of how we prepared for this in some of the things that we did and some of the things we didn't do. And so I thought it gave him legs, and so we're going to figure out how to get him legs for tomorrow, too.
Any other questions? We remind you to give your name and your affiliation as you're asking your question.
Harold Kutz, Fox 4. Jerome, for you, Baylor tomorrow, just overall quick look on them, a team you played for, very familiar with in a tournament setting. How do you feel it's going to play out, especially with playing this game now and just keeping the legs ready for the guys tomorrow?
Yeah, obviously I know Scott really well, but there's only a couple guys on that team that that I recruited or know, so that's not okay. This is about K-State and about trying to win a basketball game, and that's what we're going to do tomorrow.
Brendan Dworzinski.
We're in the back.
Yeah, Brendan Dworzinski, 580 WIBW. One more for you, Coleman. You know, knowing the gravity of this tournament and, you know, winding down of your college career and what this season might mean, how important is it for you to be able to go into this as a leader of this team, as a veteran, and kind of set the tone both with your play and verbally in a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my experience can really help me. My message to the team before we started the game was, if there's anyone in the country who can do what, you know, our task is to do, it's us. So, you know, I feel very comfortable with this group. I feel like we can beat anybody in this conference. And, you know, I feel like, you know, March is made for these type of moments that, you know, we're up against. And, you know, we're going to play as hard as we can and go out and compete every night and, you know, try to accomplish something special. So, yeah.
Anything else? Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're joined now on the dais with Arizona State head coach Bobby Hurley, along with Bashir Jihad. Coach, if you can get us started with some general comments about the game.
Well, I just wanted to compliment, you know, my team, just not only tonight, but over like the last 6 weeks. Just got a ton of respect for the heart and the will and the determination to keep competing. And I know it hasn't, you know, resulted in victories and wins, but you know, these guys, with where our numbers are at, you know, and the bodies we have for these guys to play the minutes they played, and been very competitive. And you know, we didn't get off to a great start in this game, and you know, they jumped us early and made a lot of threes early in the game. I think they shot 2 of 21 from 3 versus Iowa State their last game, and that wasn't the case early. They were really putting the ball in the basket. You take those few minutes out of the game, as you know, fairly evenly played game. We got, you know, good balance. But I'm really just feel really bad for our seniors in particular. I think, you know, Austin and Bashir really gave us their hearts and had tremendous seasons individually, both of those guys. To a degree, our staff and myself, you know, let them down by not having enough guys in the program that could contribute. And you got to project that things could happen and injuries could happen and stuff that can't derail your season. So that's something that'll weigh on me. I'll have a lot of regret, because these guys, I think, if we had the whole puzzle together, it was an NCAA tournament team, and that's just not what it is right now at the moment.
Okay, as you can see, Austin Mason has joined us. If you got a question, raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. Please give us your name and your affiliation.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Can you players talk about the fact that this team hasn't quit? This game looked like it took the same pattern of a lot of games where you had a chance down the stretch and maybe just not enough stops and not enough baskets.
Who would you like first?
out there and give it our all, no matter how many bodies we have. So, you know, just that same mentality for all the players that play.
Yeah, you know, piggyback off what Bashir said, you know, all the guys want to win, and, you know, all we could do is just show up and play hard and, you know, play together. But unfortunately, we just couldn't, you know, get the outcome that we wanted.
Coach, Captain Malater, Blaze Radio. Alston had 17 points tonight. He's been nearing 40 minutes every single game the last couple weeks. What do you say about the way he stepped up for you as not leader both on and off the floor the last couple weeks with all the injuries you all have been dealing with?
I would say, you know, and with no disrespect to any guards in the Big 12, over the last like 5 or 6 weeks, he was playing as good as any guard in the conference. So you'd love to see that for a senior to finish, you know, his career playing the way he's played, and he's really picked up the slack for the losses that we've sustained, and he kind of, in some of these games, really put the team on his back. So just got a lot of respect. I even looked at the box score right after the game, and you know, he picked up some foul issues, and if you look at his plus minus, it's a +6. In a game we lost by 5, and he was only out of the game for 4 minutes. So that tells you, you know, maybe his value and why I don't take him out of the game too often.
You have another question here on the front row.
Coach, Adam Miller tried to play today. He clearly didn't look the same. Did you just shut him down there in the second half?
Yeah, he wasn't, there was nothing he could have done to make that injury worse, but he just, you know, he was struggling to move in a normal way. I'm not great at math. You know, my Duke education is not kicking in for that, but you know, it's 75%, 60%. I don't know what he was, but it wasn't the same guy that I've been seeing. And then just all the time at halftime, just that 15 minutes, and then, you know, he just got stiff, and there was some other stuff going on. He's cramping a little bit too. So he just hasn't had a lot of practice time. It's just been like, let's see if we could get him to the point that he could play tonight.
Coach, first year in the Big 12, now officially over. What is something that you learned over the course of the season about the league that you may not have expected coming in?
It's just, like what I touched on before, I think you need a deeper team. You can't expect to play against the caliber of opponents we're playing against with the athletes and the physicality and the schedule. I mean, you're gonna play at BYU, and then you got Colorado at home, and then you're, you know, 3 days later you're at Kansas, and then you get, you know, your reward is you get Baylor at home. Like, so it's like there's a lot of heavy hitters in this league. You gotta have depth. You gotta have more players, more options, more physicality, and so those are, you know, certainly things that I would say just off the top of my head.
Any other questions? Right here on the front row.
How about the players? I'm curious as to, you've both played in other conferences. For Alston and Bashir, your take on playing in the Big 12 this year?
Well, you know, I've been here before. This is my freshman year I was here, so I kind of had a good feel of like what it would be like, you know, the physicality and all that. But with our team, I had, you know, the highest expectations with the caliber of players we had and the people and the characters that each of my teammates had. But you know, with the injuries and everything, kind of made a lot of things a lot more difficult, and gave us a challenge that was kind of hard for us to overcome.
Yeah, like Coach said, you know, just having those heavy hitters, you know, almost every game, you know, like you said, going back home, having to play Baylor, you know, stuff like that. It's a big challenge, and, you know, it's tough for sure.
Okay, 2 more questions. One right here.
Bruce Pasco, Arizona Daily Star. Hey, Bobby, I was just wondering, you said about trying to get more guys. I remember a year ago you were saying, you know, you need to go out and get the people excited to give you resources so you hit the portal. Do you need more of that, or are there other strategies to look at to do what you're talking about?
No, I think, you know, we had full commitment, you know, from ASU, and you know, we put the team together, and you know, we were supported, and we were able to go get, you know, elite, you know, guys in the portal like Bashir and Mace, and we brought in high-profile freshmen. Unfortunately, you know, for the freshmen, they both at different stretches in the season had significant injury that they had to go through, and both of those guys were a big part of what we're doing. And so when I was saying that, I mean, like, we just have to do a better job of just having, just more options in case something happens with a key player, that you try not to miss a beat, or you could overcome it till those players get back and healthy again. I didn't do the best job. But ASU is not the problem whatsoever. They, really backed us to go out and put together a team that, should have been an NCAA tournament team, but we did not, get the job done in that regard.
Okay, last question. Anybody want it? Okay, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck to you all.